Decision 2025. Decision 2025. Well, people, it's 6:43 in the a.m., the day after the Wisconsin vote. April Fools, April Flop, whatever you want to call it. Trump and Elon better figure it out. You cannot go around with these antics with a saw on stage and think that people in the Midwest, of which I'm from, are going to tolerate your cutting, that you don't take care of your neighbor. And even though Trump won Wisconsin, it don't matter. When it comes down to it and the wind is blowing fierce, and you realize that you could go through the same things that the farmers have gone through for probably a decade in Wisconsin, that your fellow man could join this misery index. You say, you know what? I know it's snowing today, but I'm going to vote. I might not even be liberal, but what Doge and Trump have done, we didn't vote for that. And maybe we need to send him a message, a real strong message. So April Fools, election 2025 upsets in the suburbs, Wisconsin Supreme Court winner. I'm Friend Shot Piercy. Welcome to my channel. We have Wednesday, Friend Shot Blue. People, as much as I did not like the two big names, Soros and Musk, in this thing, I believe it was a referendum of we the people. And that stirs my soul because I know we in the fight for our lives. I'm not agreeing with everything on either side, be it Republican or Democrat. What I'm saying is this: people voted, and I believe they're speaking. And I believe that people are slowly waking up, because these first 80 days of Donald John Trump with this character here is unquestionably one of the worst starts in terms of ignoring the average American and what we have to do and pull up our bootstraps and get it done. This man has no idea. I don't care how many millions of dollars he's lost in Tesla. I don't care about that. He don't know what loss means, because he's getting, if I'm not mistaken, over $5 to $8 million a day from the federal government. Tax-free money. And yeah, he got the what? I believe the only American car company here in America. I don't care about that. What I care about is that you look at the times that we live in. You look that between, and I've showed it before and I'm going to show it again, between Bush, Biden, Obama, and Trump, over 75% of our national debt is in the hands of those four people, Republican and Democrat. It is what it is. Ain't nothing to sit up here and play about. I've showed the numbers. And evidently people, even if they don't know the numbers, they're feeling the pain. So what am I saying? When you put it in perspective, yes, the jobs had no business being made under Joe Biden. And I'm sure a few 100,000 were made under, Trump and everybody else. Government spending in cahoots with the Federal Reserve and Congress. They're all to blame. All I'm saying is this: when you put it in perspective, the government grew big, and now Trump wants to come in with Elon and cut. Nobody's asking the question, how come you did not let the free enterprise make jobs for people? It smells like a setup that you would literally create all these government jobs, knowing that the budget was already out of whack. And then here comes Trump and Elon to take it from you. It's not fair. It's not right. And yes, we want to secure our future and our nation for our kids. Of course we want to do that. But there's nothing right about what Elon and Trump is doing right about now. They could have waited, done it a different way, cut, waste, fraud. Every time you turn around, they're on their soapbox. Oh, you can go to our website and see what we're doing. How do we know you're telling the truth? We don't know. You didn't tell the truth to get us in the position, so why would we trust you now? So the only thing that people in the Midwest knew how to do was to vote. And in my mind, maybe Trump and Elon can figure it out and say, you know what? Let's make money the old-fashioned way and stop this bleeding. Because I personally believe people should get their jobs back. And I think the greater waste, fraud, and abuse, if there is stupid stuff like having sex tests in a foreign country, of course, we don't need that kind of money being spent overseas. I get it. But you can't justify all these people that you fired. It is inhumane. And again, people have spoken.
We turn to Decision 2025. On this election night, there are several upsets in the suburbs. And as the whole country watched, there is a winner in the Wisconsin State Supreme Court race. Our political reporter, Marianne Ahern, has been watching all these results come in, and you've got some surprises for us, Marianne.
It was a very interesting night, Alex. It's been the most expensive judicial race ever. And despite Elon Musk spending nearly $20 million, the Democrat, Susan Crawford, has won in Wisconsin. Musk campaigned for Brad Schimmel and came to Green Bay just Sunday to hand out two $2 million checks. Democrats like J.B. Pritzker and Barack Obama supported Crawford. This was considered a litmus test in a very purple state of where voters stand on President Trump's first 70 days in office.
I've got to tell you, as a little girl growing up in Chippewa Falls, I never could have imagined that I'd be taking on the richest man in the world.
And you might be able to tell from the inflection in my voice this morning, I'm taking this thing more personal. You see, I got relatives where she's from in Chippewa Falls. We don't agree on the politics, probably half and half. But I respect their right to have a job and have dignity and respect. And like I said, if you do any research, of which I did it in my last channel, Friendship Pearson, if you do any research on the farmers, especially those in Wisconsin, they have gotten a raw deal. And people are tired. People are tired. So they're going to try something else. And I'm not saying this lady is the total answer, but baby, it's a referendum. And it is what it is. And a question should be asked, why was it allowed for Elon to give out $2 million checks? And I saw other little financial antics that he did. It made me think that it looked like about an allegedly way to buy an election. Put that in the comment section. Do you think he should have been able to come out there? let me show the videos and I'll show them tomorrow.
We must dissent from the apathy. We must dissent from the fear, the hatred, and the mistrust. We must dissent because America can do better, because America has no choice but to do better.
That was Wisconsin's Supreme Court Justice-elect Susan Crawford, quoting Supreme Court Associate Justice Thurgood Marshall in her victory speech last night. She told her supporters, quote, "Courts are not for sale," after Elon Musk spent millions in the race trying to defeat her. The Trump White House says there's nothing to see here, but the Wall Street Journal editorial board says there is. And we'll dig into that.
And also, Jonathan, didn't Elon Musk say just a couple days ago that Western civilization would rise or fall with this election if Democrats didn't lose?
He said humanity's destiny rides on that particular seat. So grand state.
Now, yes, I'm looking at the colors. It's obvious. Like the Phoenician. Look at that. There it is again. There it is. That's Phoenician. I got to call it like I call it. But listen to this, because I believe she's right. It's all about the money, is it not? That's the question she's bringing up.
I think there's a big warning sign tonight for Republicans in Wisconsin, and it's about money. The Democratic candidate Susan Crawford raised $22 million. That is 10 times what Democrat candidates for this office raised just 4 years ago. She outraised the Republican 2-1. Republicans are not going to prevail in the midterms if we can't find ways to get money directly to candidates, not talking just big dollar super PACs, but big money to candidates. That's the worry I have as a Republican.
Yeah, I mean, it's such I was thinking a lot about the money, honestly, tonight, because I think a lot of people think, okay, the more money you have, you're going to have an advantage. And I don't know that that's really what we learned tonight. But to your point, I mean, Trump was able to benefit from Elon Musk and Republicans, $290 million, right, in the last election, all outside money for the most part. But there's something different when the candidate can actually utilize that money themselves and utilize it correctly. And I just think that we might be past the point where just sheer dollars are going to be determinative in these races. It's gotten kind of crazy.
No, first of all, I'm actually just kind of...
So that's a perspective. Now, this is what Trump said when he was asked about the race the day before.
Election, Wisconsin, Florida. Want to share your thoughts on Republican voters to not sleep on this?
Yeah.
Two very important races you got.
Well, it's a big race, Supreme Court race in Wisconsin. It's taking place essentially as you know, it was early voting, so we'll see what happens. It's a big race. I love Wisconsin. We won Wisconsin. Republicans typically don't do very well in Wisconsin, but I did. I actually won it twice. I actually probably won it 3 times to be exact.
You played their side?
Not probably. I won it 3 times. We had a rigged election the second time, but that's, you know, one of those things. We had to make this one too big to rig. Would you agree with that, Brian?
Yes,
too big
sir.
to rig?
Yes, sir.
So anyway, but yeah, there's a big race, and I hope you get out and vote for the Republican. The woman is a radical left lunatic, and let's see who wins. But the woman will be very bad, and you know, Wisconsin's a big state politically.
Radical left lunatic. In other words, allegedly, when Caesar says something, as a judge, don't you try to block it. This is the mentality of a person who thinks like an emperor from the Roman Empire. And Elon Musk has said it in so many words, and I'm going to play it tonight. They think that they are gods. We need checks and balances. The forefathers, they might not have been perfect, but to have judicial, executive, and legislative checks and balances, that's the hallmark of the country, baby. And we can't have this man come in and send his understudy to a place like Wisconsin, thinking that your money and putting on a cheesehead thing is gonna make us feel good and forget about what the hell y'all been doing. That's all I got to say about it. Now look at this. It's the most expensive judicial contest in U.S. history, with more than $90 million spent so far, including $20 million from Musk and groups affiliated with him. The choices between conservative Brad Schumer, backed by President Donald Trump, and Musk, and liberal Susan Crawford, who is supported by former President Barack Obama and Democratic mega donors like George Soros. All right, let's go to this other one here. Elon Musk wasted $25 million on Wisconsin Supreme Court election failure. And just think, people, I just can't imagine having that kind of money and you're not helping poor people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand how crazy these parties, they would rather buy the damn seat, allegedly, than take that $25 million and restructure and recalibrate these cities. This is how sick we are. Because we are sick with power. That sounds like Satan to me. Elon Musk, heavily invested in the Wisconsin Supreme Court, failed to pay off, with Democratic-backed Susan Crawford winning the seat that declares control of the judiciary. That's all I'm gonna say right there. Let's get on with this thing. This is why he went. I played this last night. Check it out. We're gonna let him speak after that.
The House is currently Republican by a razor-thin margin, which means that losing this judge race has a good chance of causing Republicans to lose control of the House. If you lose control of the House, there will be nonstop impeachment hearings. There will be nonstop hearings and subpoenas. And they're going to do everything possible to stop the agenda that the American people voted for when they voted for President Trump with a popular vote and the House and the Senate in November. They're going to do everything possible to stop the president's agenda. And so it's incredibly important that people in Wisconsin go out and vote right now.
It was justifiable, as far as I'm concerned, to do what? To speak, to have this referendum. He wants to play the victim role and throw the extreme things out there. Are they going to impeach him? What they're going to do is they're going to block you and tame you. People are going to block you and tame you. You're hurting people, Elon. Now listen to him the other day when he was in Wisconsin. Listen very carefully how he breaks this thing down. His choice of words.
So anyway, but on a more positive note, we have this petition, sort of against activist judges, because judges should be simply interpreting the law, not making the law.
What you think Mr. Trump is doing? What do you think the hell you trying to do?
So, in appreciation for the support of people in signing this petition against activist judges, we just want judges to be judges, which is a reasonable thing to ask for. We're obviously seeing like some crazy stuff in D.C. where it seems like any federal judge can stop any action by the president of the United States. This is insane.
It's not insane. If you and Trump do something which is crazy, in our eyes, you need to be stopped. Understand this guy's mentality. Listen to him. He's telling you, I don't want to be stopped. When I make a decision, that should be it, because I'm making it for you. You made the mandate. We didn't make a mandate like this. Like I said, I've asked it over a month now. If the average person had known they was going to do these kind of cuts, you wouldn't have got in. So basically, you guys lied because you didn't tell the truth. Cuts.
Seeing like some crazy stuff in D.C. where it seems like any federal judge can stop any action by the president of the United States. This is insane. This has got to stop. It's got to stop at the federal level and at the state level. But let me first hand out 2 $1 million checks in appreciation. Okay, so the first check goes to Nicholas J.
So he want to give out $1 million checks. And I'm asking you guys, put in the comment section, why was this allowed? Why was this allowed? See, they want to do the old school, let me hand out checks and go against this judge. And I got this little referendum thing I got going on. Man, give me a break. I'm tired. Thank you, Wisconsin. And I'm not saying I agree with everything Wisconsin is doing, but I know one thing, they've been suffering. And the Midwest has been suffering and neglected by both parties. People are tired, and I'm glad that they woke up real quick and said, you know what? Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. So allegedly his data guide couldn't get to the thing. Read between the lines. God bless America. Keep fighting for the right thing for all of America. For the right thing for all of America. We got better solutions than to hurt our fellow man the way he's doing it. Okay? We could have done this thing a little bit different and maybe stop throwing all this money overseas with these bombs we're throwing. Oh yeah, put in perspective. We don't need bombs. Probably $500,000 a day in bombs going in the air, killing people. Well, we can't take it from that. That's waste, fraud, abuse, and bloodshed. I'm done.